Hello, welcome to the podcast. Today I'm going to be talking about an Enlightenment thinker that you have probably heard of. His name is John Locke. Now, when you think of the Enlightenment, the name John Locke probably is the first name that comes to mind. And there are many reasons for this. First of all, he is regarded as the most influential Enlightenment thinker that there is. And he is commonly known as the father of liberalism. Before we get into what he did with the Enlightenment, let's just talk about some facts about him. First of all, he was born on August 29th, 1632 in Wrington, the United Kingdom. And he died October 28th in 1704 in the UK as well. He's English, he was born in the UK, and here's some of his quotes. First one. We should have a great fewer disputes in the world if worlds were taken for what they are, the signs of our ideas only, and not for things themselves. This kind of shows that John Locke is able to question other people, and he doesn't just believe anything someone says. So we know when and where he was born, but why is he important? Well, let's figure this out. First of all, he wrote many theories that had a huge effect on people all over the world. The first one is one of his main ones was the theories of religious tolerance. What this theory basically talks about is that there can't be one single true religion, and it wouldn't really work because belief cannot be compelled by violence. So you can't force a religion on everyone in the world because they just won't believe it. You can't force someone to believe something. He had other theories, though. Another main one was his theory of value and property, which basically argues that it's a human right to have property and to be able to own property, so you shouldn't deprive that of anyone. He also had the political theory, which we will get into later, and the on-price theory, which basically just says that the amount of buyers and sellers is what regulates and determines prices of goods and services. You can't just have one person regulating it if there are other businesses involved. So now we know that he had many theories that went on and influenced the world. So now I'm going to talk about some of the questions and discussion topics. Oh, wait, it looks like I won't be answering these questions. It looks like John Locke himself has entered the room, and he will be answering these questions for me. Hi, John Locke, how are you doing? I am doing very good. Okay, are you prepared to answer some of these questions, John Locke? Yes, I am. All right, let's get to answering. The first question I have for you, Mr. Locke, is what do you think the role of religion is in society? Well, to that, I just want to say that I believe in religious freedom. I don't think anyone should force their religion on someone because that just doesn't work. I don't think forcing an idea on someone will make them believe it. Making the entire world one religion, I don't think is possible. You can't force a belief on someone. That's my opinion anyway. I mean, I'm a Christian myself, so I do think that governments can have like a national religion and they can make some of their decisions on that religion. But I don't think that they should force individual people to take part or be a part of that religion. That's what I think. Well, I like your ideas, Mr. Locke. I'm definitely on the same page with you there. Let's get to my next question for you. And the next question is, what do you think is the proper role of government? Well, this is quite an easy question. The purpose of government for me is to protect our state of natural rights to life, liberty, and property. But I know the only way that the government can protect all of those rights is if they have taxes, which I guess is infringing on our rights to life, liberty, and property, but it is necessary. It's infringing, but definitely necessary to keep those rights for us. Okay, that sounds good, John Locke. I totally agree with you there. Let's get to the next question. What do you think the role is of a ruler or a monarchy, and what do you think their rights are? Well, obviously, I think that a ruler should have the exact same rights as a citizen. Everyone should have the exact same rights. If someone goes for jail for something, if a civilian goes to jail for something, a ruler should go to jail for that exact same thing. I believe that a citizen can always overthrow a ruler if they get too corrupt. I think that they just should all be equal. And obviously, I think the role of a ruler should be to the same thing as the government, to help protect the rights to life, liberty, and property of all the citizens. They should just protect that, no more and no less. Well, John Locke, it seems like you are pro small government. Yes, I am. Well, I guess then we are two of the same, because I agree with small government too. That's what I want. Let's get on to the next question. What are your views on slavery, Mr. John Locke? Well, this is a bit hypocritical of me, but I am actually pro-slavery. I am for slavery. I actually justify it in my writings, the second treatise on government, and letters on toleration. I say that that all the rights don't really apply to captives taken in war and hunter-gatherer societies, such as those of Native Americans. I am pro-slavery, and I think we should continue with it. Wow, Mr. Locke, that is very strange to hear, based on what you said earlier. I am gonna have to disagree with you there, and you're quite a hypocrite. I'm not pro-slavery at all, and you really shouldn't be. You even said that rights should apply to everyone. It's very odd to hear. Well, that's my opinion, okay? Well, okay. Let's get on to the next question. What, John Locke, are your views on economics? Well, I am very pro-free market. I believe that you are the owner of your own life, and the government should not intervene with economics. There should be no government intervention at all. I think that economics just run themselves, and you do you. No one can help you there. You see, I believe in equal opportunity for everyone, for all citizens, excluding slaves. But I believe that everyone should have their own opportunity. That's just what I believe. There should be no one with a better opportunity than another person. I'm pro equal opportunity, but I'm not pro equal pay. That's communism. I'm definitely not there at all. I'm very libertarian. I strongly agree with you there, Mr. Locke. I'm definitely libertarian too. Let's get on to the next question. And our next question is going to be, what is the ideal structure of a healthy society? Well, for a healthy functioning society, we first of all need to have no divine right. There shouldn't be any leaders come about from divine right. That just shouldn't happen, because we don't know. They could be lying, and who knows if that religion is even real. I also think that societies form governments by mutual agreement. So I just believe that a society will form a government, and if the government acts badly, the society will overthrow it. We just don't want any corrupt governments. We just want the government to represent the people. That's kind of the recipe for a functioning society. Sounds good, Mr. Locke. Now, the next thing I want to know is kind of personal. Are you okay with that? Yes, I am. Well, it's not actually that personal. What's a quote that you live by, Mr. Locke? Wow, haven't really thought of this. I guess a quote that I live by might actually be one of my own quotes. And what I'm going to say is, my quote, "What worries you masters you." Basically, this means that if you worry about something a lot, that worry will take over your life. That worry will basically become you. So you don't want to worry about something too much. Just don't worry. That's kind of my recipe for living my life. And it's one of my favorite quotes. Wow, Mr. Locke, that's actually a really good quote. I'll keep that in mind. What worries you masters you. I will live my entire life by that quote now. Thanks for bringing that up. You have some pretty good quotes. Now, let's go to my next question. Mr. Locke, should we have capital punishment or the death penalty? This is another one where I contradict myself. So I say that everyone should have the right to life. Yet, I also say in my second treatise on government that death penalty should be a thing for murderers because they're taking life away from other people. That's what I say, and it's kind of a contradiction to myself. So yes, I do believe the death penalty should exist. That's very interesting, Mr. Locke. I agree with you about the death penalty. I think it does need to exist for murderers and people that do evil things. Let's get to the next question. What do you think is the proper position for women? Well, I actually think that women are below men in the society. I think that they are natural subordinates, and a natural subordinate cannot be at the same time be free and equal. So, no, I would say that women are lesser than men, and that men have more rights. Wow, you love to contradict yourself, Mr. Locke. I don't agree with you there. I think men and women should be equal. Let's move on. So my next question for you is, what is the proper punishment for criminals? Well, like I said, I am pro-death penalty if a criminal does something too bad. And if it's not that bad, criminals need to be out of society. If they're restricting others' rights, they need to be in jail. That's what I say about the whole criminal matter. Okay, Mr. Locke, that sounds good. I agree with you. So we are running short on time, so I'm just gonna do a lightning round and ask you a bunch of questions. Just give a quick answer in a quick response, a couple sentences, or just one word if you want. Here, let's start out. First, do you think fighting a war and causing death on behalf of one's religion is a moral thing to do? No, I don't think that's moral. I think that you should only ever kill someone if it's an act of self-defense. Locke, do you think government is good or is it necessarily evil? Is it really necessary to have a government? I do think it is necessary to have a government just to preserve those three rights that I was talking about. And government is generally neutral. It's whoever is running it, and if they get too evil, just stop them. Simple. Okay, John, and the next question I have for you is, how would you define human nature? I believe that it is human nature to be selfish, and we need checks and balances to really stop people from getting too selfish and out of control. Yes, I agree. And the last question I have for you is, what are your religious beliefs, if you mind answering that? No, I don't mind answering that. I am a Christian. I just believe that if you believe in God and you trust God, then you can go to heaven. That is my religious beliefs. Okay, Mr. Locke, and do you mind just talking a little bit about what you've done for society and what changes you've made? Yes, of course. The first thing I want to talk about is kind of how I helped spread around the social contract theory, which basically is saying that all members of society need to cooperate for social benefits. So maybe you sacrifice some individual freedom for state protection of all people. So you just need to make sacrifices. People of society need to do that. And I really helped spread that theory. So that's one thing I did. I also helped spread the idea that all white men just have natural rights, and the natural rights that I believe everyone should have are the right to life, the right to liberty, and the right to property. And I just really helps to introduce that too. I just believe that individual rights exist and everyone should have their individual rights, white men at least. Okay, Mr. Locke, thank you for your time. No problem. And goodbye. I'm about to end this podcast. Please subscribe on Spotify and wherever you get your podcasts. And I'll see you guys later. Bye.